Hello guys. Today we are going to learn how to create a native-like nav bar, or app bar, with scene animation in Unity with Mook. So let's get into it. I have this simple URP scene, with no setup. I have already installed Mook. Right-click in the hierarchy, go to Mook, and add the Mook App Manager, which will handle a lot of things for us. Then let's add the nav bar, which will create a Mook nav bar canvas for us. Since the nav bar will always be on top of any other elements, the canvas is in overlay mode. We don't need to change anything for the canvas. There's a container in the canvas, and in the container is the actual Mook nav bar. We can change and customize the nav bar here. The first thing is platform type. We can set it to follow app data, iOS, or material. Follow app data means it will follow the setting from Mook app data. You can go to Mook, Mook setting, Mook app data, select the object in it, and change the platform here. This will affect all the Mook components. If we set the nav bar platform to iOS, and change the Mook app data's platform to material, it will not affect the nav bar, since it's not using the app data anymore. You can override the dark mode here too. Let's reset everything. Let's change the title to home, cause it's our home page. Then we can change the background color. Tick override nav bar color. We can override the color for iOS or material, light or dark mode color. How about a blue color for the background? And for iOS, let's do red color. It's not full red on the screen, because the alpha is not one for iOS. Since the iOS nav bar has a blur effect, it's a bit transparent. Let's set it back to the default value. We can change the title text color to blue color for material, red for iOS. Again, let's reset. For material, there's an option, shadow color. We can change the shadow color for material too. Let me add a background, so we can see it. Add a Mook UI canvas. Add an image to the container. And full screen it. Let me zoom into the nav bar, so we can see. It's subtle, but the shadow color does change. Let's zoom back. For iOS, there's no shadow, but an underline, so the shadow color is not there, but there's an option for underline color. Again, red color, cause that's our color, right? Untick and tick it, so the color will set back to the default color. Then lower the alpha value for the underline color to around 30%, to make it subtle, just like iOS. We can add icon buttons at the right side of the nav bar. Change the number to how many buttons we want. We can have a maximum of 3 buttons, so even if I set it to 10, it will change back to 3. Well, we just need 1. We can change the icon image for iOS or material. Let's change the icon for iOS first. We can use the profile icon. We can set a different icon for the material if we want. For example, a male icon for the material. Profile for iOS, male for the material. Nice. Just kidding, let's change the material one to profile as well. And of course, we can override the color of the icon too. Let's do blue for material. And yes, red for iOS. Reset to the default color. So that's all for nav bar properties. Let's get into the scene animation. To show the native scene animation, Mook needs different scenes. So let's create a new scene. And call it Scene 002. And drag the scene to the hierarchy. Create a new Mook nav bar for the second scene. Drag it to the correct scene. It's overlapping with the first scene, so disable the first scene's nav bar for now. Go to the Mook nav bar object in the second scene, and change the title to Prefile. I meant Profile. We could change the colors for this nav bar, but I am going to keep it as it is. We can remove the camera for the second scene. Cause the second scene will be on top of the first scene, we don't want to have two cameras. Let me add a background color for the scene 2. Mook UI Canvas. Image. Full screen image. Now the nav bar has disappeared. That's because all the canvases have the same sorting layer. We can increase the sorting for the second scene's canvases. And voila, the nav bar is back on the screen again. Let's change the image color to something else. Let's do green color, shall we? Too sharp, you say? Let's make it a bit darker, so it doesn't hurt our eyes. And now we can remove the second scene after we have saved it. We will need to have a script to load the scene, so let's create a new script. Call it Scene Controller. Create a new folder called Scripts, and move the script to that folder. Create a new empty object in the scene, and call it the Scene Controller 2. Attach the script to the object, and reset the position. Let's go to the script. Remove all the code. We will be using Mook. Let's add a simple function to load a scene. Let's call the function GoToScene. We can load a new scene with the Mook Scene Manager. Mook Scene Manager .instance .GoToScene. It requires a scene name. Let's get it from the editor. Let's go back to the editor. Let it compile. Enable the navbar. And add a listener for the right button. Click Add, drag the Scene Controller object to the object slot, and select the GoToScene function we just created. Enter Scene 002 for the scene name. Let's enter play mode and see how it looks. Click the button. Oh! We need to add the new scene in the build setting. Exit play mode. Click File, and Build Setting. Find Scene 002, and drag it to the scenes in build. Enter play mode again. Mook will check if this is the first scene. If so, it will remove the back button. As you can see, there's no back button for this scene. Click the Profile button, and the second scene is loaded. It may seem a bit laggy, cause I am recording the screen, but it's very smooth when I am not recording. Click the back button to go back. Let's see how it looks on iOS mode. Go to Mook, Mook Setting, Mook App Data, and change the platform to iOS. Enter play mode. Click the Profile button. Nice, just like native. We can swipe back to the previous scene, or click the back button. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.